Hello, Internets. Green Goggle Man here with another edition of Comedy Group 101. This week's episode, Improv Outtakes. So, this week, chat with the Stuntmen about some moments when improv scenes didn't go as planned. As we know, there's a mantra, there are no mistakes in improv, which is true. But there are situations where something comes off as maybe less funny than it could have been. And through experience, we find choices that seem to make maybe the funnier or the more true choice. So, anyway, chatted with the fellas, came up with some fun stories about times where things didn't quite go as planned. So, enjoy these little moments with the stuntmen. Voila!
So we're talking about bad improv moments?
Yes.
Well, it would have to be my very first time ever on stage doing improv.
Oh, wow. All right.
It was a Second City class show, and one of my classmates brought their family, wife, kids, and
I think I see where this is going.
they decided to ask the audience, give us a job description for these two guys up here. The other guy was Shane, actually.
Oh, it was Shane.
It was
Okay,
Shane.
other stuntman.
Right, it was Shane. And suggestion came from a kid in the audience, and that suggestion was Stinky.
Stinky? Okay.
That was the first time ever on stage. That was my first suggestion to do Stinky as a job. There's no more to that story.
So what was your interpretation of Stinky Job?
I have no idea. Me and Shane BS'd our way through it, got some laughs somehow. The kids actually liked it, so it worked.
Okay. So it worked.
I sweated the whole time.
Okay, but
That's
yeah.
all I remember.
All right.
I have no idea what we did or said.
You were thrown by the suggestion.
It was definitely Stinky in my mind. That's all I can say.
Awesome. All right, so this was from a show that Stuntmen did long ago. We were actually an opening act at the Playground Theater. And we show up to do the gig, and I'm not exaggerating when I say there was one audience member. There's one person, and then the headline act's like, hey, do we want to go on, or do you just want to cancel the show? We huddle up. So we decided, let's do it, because we get to be on a stage, it'll be great. All right, obviously in retrospect, if we could have just said, go home, that would have been great. But we did this show. All right, so in fact, the one guy was a guy I knew, Bob. Hi, Bob, if you're out there. Great guy. He showed up. Nicely done, Bob. So we asked for a suggestion. Hey, we need a topic for our action movie, an action movie title that doesn't exist. And I forgot the exact title, but it was something like Shark Attack. It was a perfectly legit title. Our interpretation of that was, let's be sharks on stage. Not talking sharks, just things that writhe on, and then we're in the water, so we can't stand, so we have to be on the stage writhing around. So the whole bit was like the protagonists being scared of amorphous writhing things on the ground. It didn't work. It was horrible. It wasn't funny. It went on and on. It was a bad idea. We left just like wincing. We felt bad, but it taught me a lesson. And that first lesson is, don't do a show for one person. But okay, the other lesson was, I've taken this to heart when we're especially in a narrative-based improv, like these action movies we do. Give a face, an identity to the villain. Or whatever, any major character. So in other words, in this situation, instead of having a shark, have a shark that talks, something that you can talk with. Have a guy, there's an evil mastermind who's created a genetically engineered sharks. Somebody that you can relate to, that the hero can relate to in some way, instead of just having, basically don't be an animal on stage. I don't know. I'm sure there's a good way to do it. We didn't find that way. Yeah, it was horrible, and we'll never do that again.
Yeah, so I was playing a game of Freeze. This was not too long ago at the end of a set, and I did sort of like turny, like I don't remember what the scene was. It was one of those ones where someone starts moving, and as I am a mover and a dancer, I danced along with them, and they were like, "Oh yes, this is a lovely ballet rehearsal" or something like that. And I did sort of like a leapy jump, and while in the air, I farted, and I tried to play it off real quick. Like by going like, "Oh," and then I think I called freeze on myself to get myself out of there, where I was sort of like landing, "Oh, freeze!" Someone else tap in. Okay, another wonderful. Yeah, but I mean, if you're gonna fart, might as well be midair. I think it gave me extra lift.
So
like
you
millimeters of lift.
When you froze yourself out.
I think I was like.
You called more attention to it by freezing.
I think, yeah. I was probably, if people didn't like hear it, then they were like, "Huh?" He just farted like right afterwards. That's my guess.
Nice.
That's my guess.
Good story, sir. That's probably you didn't pee your pants like Mr. Pee Pants over here.
No. But if my suggestion was Stinky, that would have been fine.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
I thought that's the word. Okay, good. So those were some silly stories from the Stuntmen. I hope you enjoyed them. If you did, please hit like. I'm doing this like there's a there's a button here. Hit like, great. Subscribe, that would be awesome too. Make a comment. Make a green comma. Green comma? I'm not in the green comma today. The Green Goggle Man comment back. That's a Green Goggle promise. So without further ado, here from Second City, it's Green Goggle Man. Goggle powers. Activate. That's right, it's still here.